Tonight on Grady Newsource at 5, as Athens Clarke County residents face eviction for unpaid rent, the county's relief program to keep them in their homes is still undecided. Madison County prepares for Mental Health Awareness Week with a special symbol. And later, a deeper look into the colorful spiders that residents across North Georgia have been seeing lately. All of this and more coming up next.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening. I'm Shaylin Carroll. Welcome to Grady Newsource. With some Clarke County residents facing eviction, the county's eviction relief program has been postponed and is facing uncertainty. Grady Newsource reporter Michelle Ortiz tells us more.
Clarke County Courthouse and called for the federal government to end evictions and cancel rent as the coronavirus pandemic persists. The group of 30 people from various organizations spoke about the need for the extension of the national eviction moratorium. This protest came 3 days after the Athens Clarke County Commission voted to postpone action on their eviction relief plan until their next meeting on October 5th. Last month, commissioners asked for request proposals looking for agency partners to work with the court, tenant, and landlords to institute an eviction relief program. Last Tuesday, staff recommended against the only bid that applied, and the commission voted to postpone action.
The problem isn't that we only got one applicant, although that is also dismaying. The problem is that we didn't get an applicant who was recommended for approval.
Instead of postponing action, 4 commissioners wish to substitute the plan altogether and move forward towards it.
I think holding it has, just drags it out longer. I mean, this what staff is going to do. They can get started tomorrow, working on something that helps.
There have been evictions. Some of them have been because people have been unable to pay. And those people, if we had this program set up, could have been helped by it at any stage.
Can I get a no more?
With months since the Supreme Court struck down the eviction moratorium and Athens Commission postponing action on the eviction relief plan, what is next is uncertain. I'm Michelle Ortiz, Grady Newsource.
Now we go to Allison Casso, who checked what resources are available for Northeast Georgia residents experiencing housing insecurity. Allison, what did you find?
Hi, Shaylin. I found Athens Housing Authority, which provides rental assistance and life skills services. They determine how much rent residents will pay based on income, and they reevaluate individual circumstances each year. To apply, please visit the Athens Housing Authority website, go to Housing, and then click on Public Housing Admissions, and this will give you information about how to apply for a housing unit and apartments. Contact 706-425-5229 for more information. Another resource I found is Athens Land Trust. They work to provide help people maintain jobs, obtain affordable housing, and engage in their community. They also work with tenants and landlords to help keep people in their homes. To determine eligibility, visit athenslandtrust.org and go to Affordable Housing tab and click on Frequently Asked Questions. This will provide information about your eligibility. Contact Carly Ritzler at 706-613-0122 for more information. Back to you.
So Allison, does Athens Clarke County provide any resources for people?
Yes, Shaylin. To help with the continued housing crisis due to COVID-19, the Athens Clarke County Commission approved funding for several crisis resources, including the ARC, Family Promise, and Project Safe through the end of December. For more information on rental assistance and sheltering options available in Athens Clarke County, people can visit the Residents Resource page on the Athens Clarke County website. Thank you.
Thanks, Allison. Police need your help to identify a suspect in a murder case that took place in Commerce, Georgia earlier this year. Grady Newsource reporter Tyler Johnson looks into the latest developments in the case.
Commerce police are searching for a man they suspect is involved in the shooting and killing of Billy Lee Smith and the wounding of his brother Philip Smith outside of a Dollar General on B. Wilson Road. This week, police released surveillance video of the suspect in the store before the shooting took place. The store still remains open, but citizens are confused as to what the motives were behind the shooting.
because right now you got to protect yourself and everybody around you, not only yourself but your community. And if you have people like that that's not willing to talk and not willing to give information, then you're hiding it. So you're accessory, basically. I'm a victim of a homicide. My dad got killed 6 years ago, and his case is unsolved. So a lot of people give leads, and you get the hearsay, the he say, she say, and people name suspects that really had nothing to do with it. So as far as my understanding, every time someone's name is mentioned, they have to start an investigation.
Police are hoping that someone will come forward with any suspect information. According to the GBI, the person of interest is a light-skinned individual, about 5'10" inches tall, and he was driving a small, dark-colored SUV. If you know anything, please call the Commerce Police Department, and of course, we will keep you updated with any new developments. This is Tyler Johnson, Grady Newsource News.
Georgia's Lieutenant Governor has released a draft of the state's congressional redistricting map. The map indicates that there could be changes in many districts. Although this is just a draft, Georgia residents are talking about it. Political scientist Dr. Charles Bullock says it's too early to tell how this will affect Georgia.
If indeed one of these seats is transformed from having a Democratic to a Republican representative, that could be critical in Republicans being able to take back control of a majority of the House. Whereas if that happens, then all the committee chairs change, because all the committee chairs are members of the majority party. So this one seat alone wouldn't do it, but it could certainly be part of maybe Republicans taking a narrow advantage within the U.S. House.
This map is just a draft, and we will not know how the districts will change until the Georgia Assembly meets on November 3rd. On Friday, Jackson County schools will no longer be requiring a mask mandate. Grady Newsource reporter Alyssa McDaniel shares more on how this mandate is one of many preventative COVID measures the school system has taken.
Jackson County schools will be mask mandate free again on Friday. The school system sent out an email on August 31st explaining to parents that due to a rapid increase in COVID cases at the beginning of the semester, a temporary mask mandate would be implemented through October 1st. Jackson County says that implementation of the mask mandate is their best hope of keeping students in classrooms. The implementation started with the high schools, was followed by virtual school, and then was implemented in all the schools. Public Relations Officer Andrea Briscoe says there have been other efforts taken to prevent another rise in COVID cases.
It ends, for now, October 1st. We have not put out any communication yet on what next week holds. We have continued to clean a lot, and then also lunchrooms. Like some people are eating lunch in their classrooms. And some people are in the cafeteria that way, so everybody's not congregated in the same space.
CDC released 3 studies which show that there are more COVID-19 cases in areas without mask mandate policies. Studies highlight the importance in implementing multiple prevention strategies, including universal school masking, to end the spread of the virus and minimize breaks in school operations. Jackson County schools have consistently updated their website at jacksonschoolsgeorgia.org with the most relevant reported COVID cases. The reported numbers show that while their COVID cases in the high school spiked the second week in August to over 55 cases, last week there were less than 5 reported cases between those two schools. You can see their website to check out weekly updated graphs.
It's National Diaper Need Awareness Week, and the Athens Area Diaper Bank is at work. Grady Newsource reporter Sam Perez has the story.
Erin Campbell learned just how hard motherhood is just a few weeks after giving birth to her first daughter. Something that makes it even harder is not being able to afford basic necessities like diapers. It's estimated that diapers alone cost about $900 a year, and about 1 in 3 families in the United States struggle to afford diapers. Now, Campbell is the founder and executive director of Athens Area Diaper Bank to help combat the problem.
So when I heard that fact as a mom with a little tiny newborn baby, I just wept, because I know that parenthood is so hard even when you have every box checked.
Now, nearly 8 years later, the nonprofit is working to raise awareness for National Diaper Need Awareness Week, which runs from September 27th to October 3rd.
We definitely raise awareness that we're here and that we need the help, And so the help part comes in with all these community diaper drives that people are hosting for us. There are businesses, offices, churches, preschools, daycares, neighborhoods.
The Bogart Library is also helping out as a drop-off center. People can stop by and drop off diapers or baby wipes, which are then transferred to the diaper bank. Branch manager Donna O'Kelly Butler says that helping the community through donations is crucial.
I believe that libraries are always the hearts of their community, and it's important for us to show our response back to the community and say, we appreciate what you do for us, we want to do something for you as well.
The diapers are transported to the diaper bank, where they are sorted and delivered to local partner organizations such as the Sparrow's Nest and Project Safe. Families can then pick up the supplies from the agencies.
Diapers can be donated directly to the Athens area diaper bank, or they can be donated to different local businesses that serve as community drop-off centers. For a list of all participating locations, you can visit AthensAreaDiaperBank.com. For Grady Newsource, I'm Sam Perez.
When we come back, Georgia grants a bonus to all law enforcement, and Northeast Georgia counties prepare to bring awareness to mental health causes.
I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You're home before sunrise. On top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other,
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Next, Howlborough County is opening up conversation around suicide and mental health tonight at 6:30 p.m. Grady Newsource reporter Alexis Elmore has more.
Suicide is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. According to information released by the CDC for 2019, it is the number 2 leading cause for 10 to 14 and 15 to 24-year-olds behind unintentional injury. Broward County is taking a step towards youth suicide prevention with a conversation worth having with your student, a virtual event happening tonight.
Been working as a community for quite some time now towards greater awareness and prevention towards suicide.
Dr. Christina Lowe, Director of Student Services for Broward County Schools, helped piece together this community event to help both students and parents break the stigma surrounding the topic of mental health.
To teach kids to acknowledge when their friends are depressed, showing their friends empathy and care, and making sure that they understand the importance of reaching out to a trusted adult when they have concerns.
Chelsea Piot from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention said that this is a step in the right direction to get these conversations started.
I think that all school districts would benefit from something like this. I think it's really important that students be aware of their own mental health and know that, it's okay to not be okay and you're not alone in your feelings. And it's also important for parents to know that as well. Regular things that teens struggle with, the parent may not think about, but it's important for them to be aware that maybe something in addition to, a normal struggle.
The event is tonight at 6:30 p.m. It is open to the public through Zoom. You can access that through your smartphone or your computer. You can find that link on the Barrow County School System website or any of their social media pages. Their event page also has more resources and information regarding suicide. For Grady Newsource, I'm Alexis Elmore.
Madison County is preparing for Mental Health Awareness Week next week. Grady Newsource reporter Megan Middlehammer shows us how the community is bringing awareness to this important cause.
Green ribbons displayed around Madison County in support of mental health awareness are personal for Danielsville florist owner Sheila Smith.
I have some in my family, and I have a grandson that struggles. I'm just going to pay for my supplies and donate all the rest of it to the cause.
Mental Health Awareness Week runs from October 3rd through the 9th. In 1990, Congress officially established the first week of October to bring awareness to mental illnesses. Feelings of anxiety and depression increased in the United States from April to June of 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic raged and lockdowns were in place across the country.
People care so much, they're doers. I mean, we have a membership of doers. And so why we love it so much is that, one, is to support mental health awareness. I mean, obviously that's very important to us, but also, Advantage Behavioral Health is collaborating with Danielsville Florist and Gifts, which is a locally owned small business, to encourage other businesses to go purchase ribbons from them.
Sheila uses outdoor ribbon without wire to make bows by hand for many community causes, most recently to support police officers and frontline healthcare workers.
I guess I'm the bow lady.
Advantage Behavioral Health has locations across Northeast Georgia. They help individuals struggling with mental illnesses using outpatient services, group therapy, and addiction recovery. Sheila hopes her bows will spark a conversation about mental health and make the subject easier to talk about.
And it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that people just need help with and help dealing with their emotions.
To start the week, Advantage Behavioral Health will host a virtual candlelight vigil on Monday at 7 p.m. For Grady Newsource, I'm Megan Middle.
Coming up, Newsource's Riley Armont has your 5-day weather forecast.
I was in foster care. I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
And now, the weather.
Good evening, I'm Riley Armont with your Northeast Georgia forecast. The sunny skies and cooler temperatures will continue through the rest of the week through Saturday. The high will be 86 with a low of 64, making it a perfect day to watch the Dogs beat Arkansas.
Tonight, you can expect the temperature to drop to the lower 60s, and the temperatures will stay the same throughout the rest of the week, with lows in the 60s and highs in the 80s, but Monday, you're going to need to pull out the rain boots as there will be a 40% chance of rain for Monday. As we enter the month of October, your dream to make a wish on a shooting star may come true. The Draconid meteor shower is set to peak next week on October 8th. The shower actually begins on October 6th and ends on the 10th, but your best chance of making your wish come true are on the 8th. It's clearest shortly after nightfall, so be sure to find a good place to stargaze. The celestial events don't stop there. On October 9th, you'll be able to see the moon and Venus vibing in the night sky. Clear skies are projected for that night as well, so keep an eye out starting at 7:30 p.m. Let's enjoy the weather for the rest of the week, and don't forget to make a wish next Friday. Riley Armont, Grady Newsource.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school.
Jessica has been through a lot in her life from early childhood.
My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She came in looking to complete her diploma. She had a family she had to take care of. Anytime she needed help, we provided her help. She realized that we were here for her.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
My graduation, it was something I will never forget. I couldn't explain the emotion I was feeling because people like you and me sometimes may have doubts in ourselves, but I feel that everything's possible.
Jessica's future is brighter than ever.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
It's done. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
And now, sports.
Welcome back to Grady Newsource Update. Starting off, UGA golfer Grayson Sigg has been nominated for Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year. Winning the award could mean a promotion for the Professional Golfers Association Tour. Since 2013, the Korn Ferry Tour has been the primary pathway for those seeking to earn their PGA Tour card. Next, in local sports, Cedar Shoal High School won their first home football game with 42-8 against East Hall Vikings. The team will play against Madison County High School on Friday. At UGA, being a team player goes beyond the sport. The men's cross country team and the women's golf team has been awarded with the Faculty Athletics Representative Award for earning a cumulative grade point average. Over the fall of 2020 and spring of 2021, the women's golf team compiled a GPA of 3.549, and the men's cross-country team earned a GPA of 3.48. Finally, coming off their first victory exhibition, UGA baseball scored 18-1 against Ontario's Nationals. For Grady Newsource, I'm Michelle Ortiz.
Coming up next, hear about the sudden population boom of the Joro spider and how it has some residents worried.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
We scored? Yeah, we scored.
score, we're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Thousands of spiders have descended upon Athens this fall, and residents are wondering where these spiders have come from and if they're invasive. Grady Newsource reporter Wyman Bailey has the story about whether the spider is invasive and its role in the environment.
If you look closely enough in the trees and telephone poles of Athens, Georgia, you may be lucky enough to spot a spider or many spiders. These spiders are not the average garden spider that many are accustomed to. They are a species of spider called the Juro spider. William Hudson explained the difference between the Juro spider being labeled as invasive to a resident as compared to an entomologist.
Is different than probably what most people might understand, because that term has a negative connotation for most people.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that most of the time, if you're talking about an invasive species, it has to come from somewhere else and have a negative impact where it goes.
Yeah.
So this one is invasive in that it is not native.
Hudson says that the spider does not affect the environment it is in.
Based on my yard, that is not an issue. I have lots, and maybe because...
Brian Ferschler, a UGA entomologist, added that there is not enough data to explain the spider's sudden population boom.
Don't know. I don't think we have enough data to, suggest that there was maybe a milder winter last year that allowed more eggs to survive for this year, or what.
Mm-hmm.
Most insect populations will go through this sort of natural fluctuations over time.
Wyman Bailey, Grady Newsource.
Thanks for joining us on Grady Newsource. I'm Shaylin Carroll. Have a great night.
Is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right, I think this thing is working. Okay, we got a little bit of an echo. Do you mind turning that off real quick? Okay, awesome. Guys, today was great. I mean, really, really good. No, seriously, applaud yourselves. This was your best show yet. It's only going to go up from here. Like I said before, when we first started on our first mock show, y'all did great. Technically, we were able to do really great things with that double box, with the Q&A. That went really smooth. We even threw an OTS over there. We had our virtual sets going. I don't know where our anchor is. I would love to congratulate her because she killed it too. That's all I got for you guys. We can only go up from here.
And Harper, thank you guys because you made a flawless show and it wasn't easy. And I really am impressed with what you guys did because this is a totally different system. They just learned this new system.
Thank Darby because she directed that and she did great.
Yes, Darby, excellent job. Darby, I think we should give her a round of applause. Yeah, she can hear us. She can hear us. Yeah, guys, I'm really happy we did so well today. It was just, this is our best show, and we had a live in the studio. And we had an anchor and Allison who were really I could tell that they were enjoying, they were connecting, they were engaging. Allison was engaging with the smart board. This is your first time you did the smart board, or? Yeah, and she had her tabs open, and we can work a little bit more. I thought that I, as a viewer, need to watch it at home, but I think we were discussing with her whether we need a graphic or whether we need a website. You are so comfortable with those websites. You were just kind of going up and down, and but maybe we needed at one point a graphic with more a close-up of what you were talking about. But I have to watch it at home. But you were so comfortable. The two of you had chemistry, and you were so cute, and everything was just wonderful. We can just move, go forward here. And I think Nikki set a very high bar with her first smart board, which went very well. So I think you guys can innovate a lot and do a lot with that smart board. But next week, let's try and have a real live shot outside, but not a live shot for live shot's sake. It's got to be a story that's really developing it, and there's a real reason to do it. Davis and I were talking today, and he said, you know what, I want to do a live shot. And I said, okay, so which story would you do? And he was like, okay, we can do this one or that one. And I kept playing devil's advocate and said, so why would you do that? Well, what's happening? Where would you put your reporter? And what would they say? And he's like, you know what? Yeah. So we figured out that there wasn't quite a compelling story kind of happening and developing during the day for an MMJ to stand there. And I encourage you guys to be advocates for yourselves, if you have the courage for a live shot. If there's a story that's really developing behind you, you can stand somewhere and say, you know, right now, for example, Alyssa stands there and says, today, this is the first day that the students here will be arriving without, they don't need to wear masks. And I, you know, kind of take us, you need to take us into the action, or if there's a protest, you know, like we had Shaylin do the protest. She did a look live first because we'd never done live and we didn't have the opportunity for a show. But secondly, that would have been over by the time of our. So, but let's say, let's make this up. There was this mask protest happening on Monday, and it's happening exactly during our show at 5 p.m. Shaylin stands there and she's amongst, you know, the people. She's got her little donut that she's going to toss to with background information, but she fronts everything that's developing around her. She takes us, she shows us there are people, you know, you look around, you see slogans that are really compelling, and you say people have been protesting, they have these posters, these slogans, you know, I just want to show you some of them, you know. If you have someone with you, they can follow you with the camera, right? And or you could also, what you could do, instead of a donut, you could actually talk to people. You could ask a few people if they're willing to go on camera with you during your live shot. So one person could be standing next to you, and you could, you know, you could introduce us to the story. This is where I am. People are protesting for this reason. I have so-and-so here next to me. She wants a mask mandate. So why is that so important to you? Don't surrender your mic though. And do the Q&A. You've seen that on TV. There's just so many things you guys can do. But there's got to, like Davis and I were talking, there's got to be a reason, like something happening around you. And you decide whether you need, if it's a very complex story, maybe you just need a donut where you put in all your background information, which cannot be ad-libbed. And I highly recommend, when you're live somewhere, try not to ad-lib. You saw, Allison, you were a natural because you weren't reading all the time, especially when you were scrolling. You know, I could tell you let go, and there's a difference, right? Between reading and, yes, the anchor has to read, but when it's something you've written yourself, it's best to, and your stand-ups too, I would highly recommend you ad-lib those, practice them a few times, don't make them very long, and it will, at least with me, it always affected my performance. I was much better at ad-libbing things than reading from the prompter, you know. So anyway, I'm really happy today. I don't know, guys, about you. Tyler, I looked at you, nice package, you know. I think, again, I sometimes scare you guys when I suggest things, and you made that soundbite extra long. What I meant is for you to sort of summarize the rest of it and bring us more detail, but you misunderstood me and you did something to make me happy, and the thought was too long, and it's my fault. But this woman was just so compelling. And there was a jump cut. You know, guys, you can easily avoid the jump cut with the dissolve. You know, when you are editing a soundbite, cutting it shorter, you know, usually the head slightly jump cuts. And I saw quite a few soundbites with the head jump cutting, you know. So that was, but very well done. This was, you know, a compelling story. And I wish you'd gotten the sheriff, but you told us what he told you, and yeah, keep developing, because this is, yeah, and you can add some more details about the investigation. Ask him, you know, what's the latest on the investigation? Beside this video, have you gotten some tips from people already? Are people responding? That's how you can move the story forward. Are people really responding? Have you gotten some tips, you know? And that would be great. Yes, yes, and very well done. You're a great writer. The broadcast style kind of thing, you got it going. Maybe you already have a podcast, right? So he's developing his broadcast style. Yeah, so that was very good. all of you did amazing. Sam, that was a very good package where if you watch that, you can actually see how when you don't have a Zoom interview, you can actually film people as they're going about their ways. So she had filmed her character going around, the woman who was the founder of the nonprofit for the diapers. You know, you could see her as she was introduced before her soundbite. You could see her in action, and you could see her working, and that's kind of interesting, isn't it? You're taking people there. I liked, there were several of you who did Zoom interviews, and yet they had a picture of the person. So when they said so-and-so says this and this, and before the soundbite, we could see actually the person. We weren't seeing a building or a street when you're talking about a human being. Yeah, so that was good. Major step forward on that one. Even that, though not all of you did it, but I think my broken record is getting through. Yeah, so what else? You know, our anchor was just very, you know, and the co-anchor at this, I just love this chemistry and this comfort that you had with the scripts and everything. And let's see. Michelle struggled with a very complex issue, and I was really impressed with how it all came together. And she did also double duty, and she did the sports as well. Michelle, with the sports, I would suggest if you had something in this smart board to interact with it, to see how it will, and be a little more convincing. You know, I don't know sports that well, so if I was doing the sports and I was not very well versed in it, I would be a little timid, just like you, because it's not my forte. But just a little more projection, as they say. You know, and you and I can practice if you want, but I'm just nitpicking, and I really thank you for nailing down that story for us. That was a lot of work on a very complex and very important story, and it led our show. So very well done. Double duty, sports and our top story. And thank you for that. And yeah, Allison, I thought your story came together good. I have to look at it again. There was a lot of web page scrolling at the end again. Maybe a graphic in between the web pages, your own graphic, something a little. And I think I didn't see a picture of the audio. I didn't see the introduction of the person who was Andrea. Yeah. Exactly. Just more planning for all of you. It's not, I'm not picking on you, you know. I saw it wasn't just you, so don't worry about it. But just another broken record. But you know, you're beginning to, I can see everybody. I can see this forethought into the visuals, because you guys are doing a great job in researching the facts and everything. But I can see you now thinking about visual storytelling. So I've talked too much. You know, I'm happy. Wyman, you know, the event, and he was brave, and he took B-roll of the spiders. Yes, and yeah, I have to look at the package. I might have a few suggestions, but that was very, very good. And it kind of was a good way to end our show on the creepy crawly spiders. So yeah, maybe I'm missing someone, but just know that I'm very proud of you today, and I'm very happy. And I want to give the mic and the floor to Davis. Yes. Because yeah, he became so confident at one point, you know, timing that show, and when the on-air timer sort of wasn't quite there yet, he got the hang immediately of
Yeah, it was
how
fun.
to do it manually.
Yeah, no, first of all, I appreciate everybody just getting me your stuff in a timely manner. Everybody worked really well. Teamwork was really fast at responding to everything. Felt like it went really smooth today. Tech team was amazing. If
Yes,
they can hear me.
the tech
Y'all
team
were
was amazing.
Awesome today.
Yes.
Everything went really smooth. Like I loved the crosstalk between Shaylin and Allison. It just went really, like I was a little worried it was going over, and I was like, should I tell her? And I was like, you know what, it's just going well. Let's just let it flow.
Yes.
And it really did. Like you said.
That's what a real producer does. You just go if something's really going well. Yeah, like what I've, for example, I was told to do a 5-minute interview with someone, and it was going so well that the producer just kept saying, keep it going, and they cut something else, which wasn't as compelling.
Right.
So, and nobody complains about this. Everybody knows that if your content is not as compelling, it will get cut from it, and that's not because you didn't do a good job, but because we had this awesome interview, so interesting, engaging, and a good producer does. On live air, you make those decisions.
For sure, yeah. And I had to cut like
And-
2 readers, so I think Savannah did one and Nikki did the other, but and Ballard did a package too that
Yes.
ended up just getting floated. But I appreciate all of you guys for getting that in and having a good mentality about everything. Samantha S and Samantha P both put together great content as news gatherers today, so I really appreciate both of them. Michelle doing sports and the lead package, that's huge, so thank you so much, Michelle. And everybody just killed it. Shaylin, you did a great job as anchor. I mean, everyone did a great job.
And you did a great job,
Oh,
Davis.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, it makes it easy when everyone else around me's doing their job, but yeah, it was smooth for the most
Did you
part.
enjoy producing?
I did.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's kind of hectic, but I like it in a way.
What was your biggest challenge?
Timing, just making like you're over 2 minutes here. You're telling me that I need 3 minutes of floated content, and I'm like, where's this gonna come from? But then you find it. You just add to readers and 20-second things that you can possibly float.
Yeah.
So I'd say that was the biggest challenge, but you kind of knew it was coming too. So I wouldn't say I had any unexpected challenges, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it though.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And Sam, you did a great job with Dr. Bullock, and you can still expand on that. You can keep working on that story. It's not lost, because it's a very important story, and you struggled a lot with it, and you learned a lot. And I think you could continue that story. It's really important. See what's going on with that 9th and 10th district, and see that session is not until November 3rd. However, you can do a preview, let's say a few days before that. You could tell us what's expected, go back to that draft, to this interview, and what do we know beforehand, and the story will probably develop. I'm sure that there'll be more leaks of maps and stuff, and so that's a very important story, and just keep working on it, and you've got it started now. Not just reading up on it, but you already have an interview, and hold on to that and stay in touch with Dr. Bullock and see what happens. And maybe ask him if he gets additional information that you would love to if you could keep reaching out to him and just keep asking him, do you have any other information that we can talk about? This is a very important story for our show, and we'd like to keep informing people. And O'Reilly, I'm sorry, you did amazing weather, and again, I mean, she's killing it with those Chanel outfits and stuff, and Allison too. They're just like our fashionistas here today. So that was very nice. The way you had those graphics, and you took us in the universe. We flew around a little, And the way you wrote your script was spirited, and your presentation was very natural and engaging, because I could tell that you just put your heart into it. It was very genuine. So our digital producer, how did we do?
Thank you guys for communicating with me and keeping me updated about where y'all were with your packages and everything. Same thing that everyone says, just making sure that we stay updated on where you are in your process of getting everything finished, so I can kind of time everything and figure out, you know, what days to post everything and whatnot would be great. And yeah, we got some really good content out today, so thank you, everyone.
Very excellent.
Thank you. Yeah. To say, I think everything went pretty well. It was really fun doing the back and forth with Allison. I definitely think that if we can incorporate stuff like that in future shows, we should. Davis did a really good job communicating with me all day. It was nice just to, like, once I got to the newsroom pretty early and sat and just kind of watched all the scripts come in and just went over them. And I think Ballard said it's just reading, so it was fun. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody wants to share something that? And your package was awesome. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm great graphics and stuff. I know I was missing people, but know that I will be watching at home and enjoying all the beautiful work that you've done, which I wasn't able to watch very closely. But again, very spirited. I can tell you really love what you're doing. And it shows on the screen in your creativity, and same with you, all of you did very well. I want to hear, did somebody struggle with something, learn something, did something really well, learned something new that you're really proud of? Yes, Stephanie.
So I did the diaper bank package, and it was really, really fun, and that was the first, like, true day turn that I've actually done, and so it was kind of cool to get that experience. So if I had a tip for anyone who hasn't done it, is maybe have a location to go instead of just your car, because I was kind of, working on deadline, as was everyone, and then my laptop died when I was in my car using my hotspot, so I had to, like, drive around the county finding somewhere I could go to plug it in, which I think made it a little bit harder. So if I'd had something kind of in mind, I think that would have been really so that was just a little, like, learning experience that I think will help me from now on.
One little thing I have for you. I love this stand-up was awesome, with dropping the diaper. You had a little bit too much of a smile for the story. I think the story is very serious, so a little less than a smile, but less smile. But I may be wrong, because I want to watch it again. But it seemed to me that there could be less of us. That's the only, I'm nitpicking, but I may be wrong, because I will watch it again. But it was just beautifully done, beautifully done. I want to hear from the news gatherers. What are your 3 promises for next week? And I'm going to hold you to them. We had a much better show open. Thank you very much. So who's the spokesperson for the news gathering team? Okay, Dan.
I think everything is getting a lot better, and there's a lot of improvement. I think overall our communication has been a lot better as, like, a team, and we're working well with that. I think the graphics are getting better. There's still a little bit of shaky audio and video, but I think you can see it progressing. It's progressing a lot. But yeah, we don't have any promises. I think everything's getting better. Stories, I think stories that are developing are what's going to happen tomorrow with if the government's shutting down or not, how the infrastructure bill is, if it's going to get passed and how that will affect it. Also, Nikki developing the story about the $1,000 that is going to this first responders. How is that going to, how is that going to play Friday? Will people be easily able to get that money? Will they not be able to? Things like that. So.
Perfect, and even I am not perfect after 35 years, and nobody's perfect. We always will develop. So I'm never going to buy the fact that you have nothing.
So I wouldn't necessarily call it a promise, but I would call it something that we should 100% work on, and really focus on for this coming week and the following shows, is in interviews, taking them and taking sound bites. And I noticed in a few they were just kind of dragging out. So taking like necessary parts and then paraphrasing what they're saying for the rest of it, because as a listener, it's like, okay, I'm listening to this person talk and it's informational, but it's just too much detail and it's not necessary. So really just getting to the point with those.
For doing that, because a lot of you got this message from me today. Please shorten the soundbite and say the rest in your own words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the most important thing. Our job as journalists is to distill the information, offer people just the essence of what they need to know. Because I was talking with Ballard today, broadcast is, limited in what people can comprehend. It's done in a second and it's gone. You can't stop, slow down your reading, make sense of a graphic. The graphic needs to be described, the 3 bullet points and what do they say. You need to show something, say something, keep the sound bites, just giving people a taste of what the person is saying. It's not the entire thing. You need to distill it, you need to introduce it, and just leave the most compelling, most interesting part of the soundbite. And it shouldn't be more than 15 seconds. Again, take a look at CNN Newsource. We can't use it on air because we are also posting on digital. We don't have those rights. But you can learn so much, not because I worked at CNN that I'm pushing this, but this is the way anybody, whether they're working at Fox News or CNN or ABC or whatever, that's the way you're expected to write once you're in the real world. I don't expect you to be writing on that level, but it's a good example to aspire to and to really see how do they put the visuals. The most valuable thing, I was talking with Ballard, is that you can actually watch the package and read their script. And even though they don't have the right and the left side, you can see what kind of video. And if you had struggled with a package that you couldn't figure out visually, you can see how they're doing it. You can search by keyword. So if you're doing a package on COVID, see how they're handling. You're doing a package on homelessness, watch a few packages, read a few scripts. And that can really guide you into your broadcast style. But thank you, Nikki, for making this very important point. So the promise for next week, all of you will try short sound bites, not more than 2 sound bites from the same person in a package. And you're going to be distilling, you're going to be choosing the most compelling part of that sound bite. And cleaning up the like I said, you don't need to start a sound bite or end it like I said, or these we don't need to hear. Wonderful. Guys, I think we're almost out of time. Anybody else wants to make a point? Oh, yes, Darren.
Like SOT, I guess, as you would formally call it, but how long, I know that it's going to differ depending on what the story is, but is there like 30 seconds, 25 seconds? Like how short? Okay. About 25 seconds at the most. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Every story deserves that way. But again, Absolutely.
cooking dinner and whatever, and just kind of listening and watching from time to time. Your comprehension is not like it would be with something you're reading off a web page, or you have the time to go into it, slow down, to go back to something. So it's set and it's gone, and it's like, okay, I know I'm lost here, so I'm not watching the rest of it. I'm switching to another channel. Or if you're streaming it, you can go back, but how many people will be streaming something and then you go back to